Hey guys, I'm here today with the Boss Slicer SL-2, and it's a pretty neat pedal. Originally, I thought it was just kind of like an advanced tremolo or something like that, and then I remembered that the MD500, the big modulation effect that's along with the 500 series, like the DD500, had a slicer effect, and I really liked it. Last year, around November, this came out as a one of the small form factor pedals. I've been playing with it yesterday most of the day because I really enjoyed it. It sounds fantastic. It's not just a slicing effect. It does a little bit of pitch shifting, it does phasing, it does flanging, and it just sounds great on synth. And some of the synth demos out there made me kind of like it, but then I was thinking about what can you pair it with? And if you see in this image Boss has on their website for the SL2, they show it paired with a Space Echo, a real Space Echo, but I have the next best thing. And it is fantastic when you pair the two. I'll demo that out. This isn't going to be a very long video. I do want to have a disclaimer here. I bought the Slicer SL2 with my own money, so these are my own opinions. Alright, I have a pretty simple patch here on my Roland JX08. I'm going to keep this all Roland today, well, except for the controller here. This is the launch pad, but yeah. So, saw pad with a fifth up and a bass octave oscillator, saw. Sounds pretty cool. And I just have this set to, I believe this is the SFX. I wish it was a little better laid out. But yeah, so there's the variation, and then there's the type of the slicer effect. And we'll get on to some of the controls in a few minutes. I'll go ahead and engage the pedal here. So yeah, that's doing some pitch shifting, a little bit of flanging, and obviously the slicing effect. And that just sounds cool. Also, I should state that you should be listening to this with stereo headphones. This demo is going to be completely in stereo. I have this in 3D mode where it gives it a 3D warping around the room kind of image, and it's absolutely gorgeous. But where the RE2 comes in this is a true stereo pedal, so it'll take that stereo image and delay it, and it'll sound fantastic by here. So I think that sounds absolutely wonderful. Let's turn off the delay really quick, and we're going to go back over here. I'm going to go into a very simple mode to explain kind of how this works. So this is the standard slicing mode. No real effects other than the gating and the chopping, I guess. That's what you would call it. And you have a balance control up here, which goes fully wet if you want it. Man, that 3D image is cool. And then here, that's 50-50 in the middle. But yeah, you can control, so all the way dry. And underneath we have the tempo. It's a concentric pot. You can also put in tap tempo directly on the pedal, so we'll do that really quick. And then you hold back down to go back into the bypass mode. A little annoying, but you can use the controller expression input for a tap tempo switch, I believe. At least I hope you can. I mean, you can on the RE2. But yeah, so that's one of the ways you can get the tempo in. The other way is MIDI. So it has MIDI over 3.5mm jack. I believe I forgot what type it is, but it's the same type that the launch pad here uses. And I had the launch pad connected to this, and it was definitely responding to MIDI clock. The MIDI implementation in here is kind of terrible. It only really responds to clock. The expression control has its own MIDI CC, so that you can do some expression, and you can enable and disable the pedal. That's about it, I believe. But yeah, so that's just the regular chopping effect, and it's pretty cool. I'm going to go over here. I'm not going to go through all of them because it would take too long. Alright, and we have a duty control here, which basically changes how long the slices or how big the slices are. They're nice and short there. And they get longer as you go towards the right. There's attack control on the top, but it's not like a synth attack control. You kind of have to think of it as the volume to the attack. So right now the attack is set to all the way to the left, which makes the volume very low for the attack. But if I go to the right, you'll hear. See how that attack on is really high now, or like really loud? Yeah. So that's really cool. I keep it all the way down because I do ambient music, so I want it nice and just subtle. Well, not subtle, but I guess the attack being nice and long. But yeah, that's the basics of it, and it just sounds great. Let's go back to having the space echo on this one in particular. Since we have that 3D movement, it just sounds so cool. It's giving this pedal a stereo feel to it. Because this doesn't generate a stereo image on its own, but the SL2 now is. I could see plugging a mono reverb into this, and then this generating a stereo image with the gating effect and everything. I like we're still in the single mode here, but there's like this phasey effect right here. You'll hear it. Slicing with phasing. That's still going within the RE2's on, but let's turn it off and just hear that. Again, off. And then on. And now with the space echo. That's really cool, and yeah, I mean, we can even go into the harmonic tremolo in here. I believe it's like here. It's like tremolo with, I guess, modulation is what they call it. But yeah. I'll go ahead and turn off the space echo again. But that has like bit crushing, and it sounds like pitch sequencing. That has some pitch or bit crushing. There's one in here I really liked. I'm trying to find it again. It's not that one. That one's pretty cool because it's like a glitchy effect. Oh, is it the first one? No. I'm trying still to find that. Maybe it's in the regular tremolo. Hold on. Oh yeah, it's 8 there. Has a little bit of filtering and stuff. That's pretty cool. But now let's hear it with the RE2. So yeah, that's really cool. Let's just go into the SFX really quick, because things could get crazy. So it could do things like this. Oh, the flanger one. I like that one because I like flangers. It's flanging pitch shifting. It's kind of weird. I guess this one has pitch shifting and flanging. Again with the delay there. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's about as much as I really want to go into it. Otherwise, like I could go hours with playing with this thing on camera, but it's great, especially when you throw it into a delay. I haven't even tried it into a reverb yet. I'm going to try it into a big ambient reverb, and that's kind of why I got this. I think it's going to sound really nice. And yeah, it just adds so much movement, especially even if it's ambient music. It works with so many things. Obviously, it would work with EDM and stuff like that. It's a weird pedal. It's one of the most useful weird pedals I think I've ever had. Definitely, even in the ambient context, there's a lot of pedals that just don't lend themselves to that. I never thought of tremolo as being something you could use in ambient usage, but this you definitely can. So I have only a handful of gripes on it. The first gripe is the configuration menu to change the stereo outputs is a pain in the ass, to say the least. You have to turn these knobs, all the knobs have to go to the right. This one has to go to 8. And then you have to unplug it, hold down the switch, plug it back in, and then it'll finally go into the configuration mode for the different sections. Like if you want ping pong, this is the one I have it in right now is like the 3D movement mode. If you want it in like alternating mode, or if you want it in mono out, things like that. It's a little tricky to do that. You can plug this into your computer. It has a USB-A port, Type A port, so it's one of the big USB ports. Doesn't come with a cable, so that's annoying. I wish it was USB-C. That's my other gripe. But the editor, well, it's not even an editor. It's a librarian software. You can control all the settings in there and then save it to the pedal. It's a little easier to do, I think. That goes on to the other gripe I have. You can't create your own custom rhythms easily. You can download some extra rhythms that they've made, Roland has made or partnered with somebody, or Boss in this case. And then they replace some of the settings in here, or presets. But you can't easily make your own. What I mean by easily, they have files on the editor that you can open up, and they're JSON files. And you can technically go in there and find the parameters and try and make your own like beats. But it's not like a graphical editor. So if you can edit a JSON file and you can figure out what all the parameters are, I assume you can make your own. I haven't tried it. I've seen some people online say you can. And yeah, so that's annoying. I would like to see a full editor, which lets you do that all yourself through graphical means, but it is what it is at this point. Again, the USB-A Type A is annoying. Also, the MIDI over 3.5 millimeter jack. I mean, I guess it's forgivable because it's a compact pedal. Just kind of annoying. It should have came with the adapter in the box, but you know, Roland/Boss wants to make their money somehow on accessories, so that's how they do that, I guess. But yeah, other than that, those are my biggest gripes. The sound is fantastic. That 3D imaging mode, especially into a true stereo delay, is something different for sure. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you're as excited as I am about the slicer. Definitely going to use it in future music. So yeah.